Hey everybody, this is your girl Sis-Lo with another newsworthy update. And we are about to go live. Give us about a good 30 seconds, so go ahead and get your little something to drink. And we will be right back. Hey everybody, what's up? Uh-oh, not me. Got an echo, not me. Uh-uh. How that is? That better?
Hey, what's going on?
What's cracker lacking? What's shaking and faking? What's waking and bone? What's going on? What? Oh, okay, y'all got
Praise white Jesus.
You know you're a fool.
it. You are so silly with that, bro. You are
How's
so silly.
everybody doing?
Doing, doing, we
I'm
doing.
going.
Yeah, we
Well,
doing.
that's good.
I'm
I,
going, girl. Just ready for a lot of different things to change up. But other than that, gotta keep on pushing till it do.
I
yeah.
feel
So,
you. I feel
like,
you.
right before we came on, I got a phone call, and my girlfriend was telling me about a situation that was going on where another friend of ours, uh, godchild, was killed by the mother's boyfriend. A 4-year-old was killed by the mother's boyfriend. So this is, oh my God.
Could you repeat that? I couldn't hear you.
I said, one of my good girlfriends called me right before we got started, like right as we were getting ready to go live, to let me know that another good girlfriend of ours, um, godson, was killed by his mom's boyfriend. They a 4-year-old. So I
Oh,
don't know all of the details to it, but I do know that the baby was had a lot of internal damages and things like this. And allegedly, this is not the first time that he had been harmed, but they told the doctor or the hospital that he had got kicked in the stomach at school. But I guess it turns out that that wasn't true either. That this the mom's boyfriend probably did it.
oh, that's
Probably taking him
horrible.
to the beginning and the first time. But this is just awful. So you really have to be careful who you get in relationship with, who you leave your children with, who you allow to be around your children. Honey, listen, that's just not something that I would recommend anybody to do with children, with small children, especially kids at all. It's almost like my kids were darn near grown before I got remarried because I was just concerned, about who was around my kids, and I didn't bring everybody around them either. Mm-mm. But at any rate, we came here today. Did you guys get the chance to look over the story?
No, but I remember it though.
Okay, so yeah, story comes out of Tampa, Florida, and the story begins with a Dunkin' Donut worker who was at work, and this 77-year-old man came into the establishment being belligerent. And first of all, he ordered, I believe it was through the drive-through or something, and I guess his order wasn't satisfactory to him. So he came on the inside of the establishment and went to being belligerent. The young man asked him to leave, and he kept getting belligerent with him. And then the guy asked him to leave again. He called him an N word,
Mm-hmm.
told him, don't call me that no more. And he kept calling him the N word. And so he lost his temper and punched the dude. The guy fell back, hit his head, ended up in the hospital a few days later. He passed away from his injuries. Well, now the young man has been sentenced to, African American man, has been sentenced to 2 years on house arrest. Was this justice? Was it injustice? Was it a win for the African American community? Was this unfair uh, to the person, um, a bigoted individual? Um, was this equal justice? So what I want to do is I want to play a part of play the story so that we all can get a listen. And girl, guess who learned how to add? Your girl did.
Oh shoot!
You hear me? You hear
I
me?
sure was about to tell you. I'm gonna have to teach you how to do that.
You sure do, girl, because I'll be shaming myself.
No,
uh,
I just gotta learn how to play it.
you got
All
make
the
sure you hit
technology.
mute. Make sure you
Do
hit mute when you play it.
Okay, but do I play it from here or do I play it
No,
from
you gotta go to the website that is
past?
it, but you gotta pull the screen. We can't see the screen, so
Okay, can you
you
see it
got
now?
no. You
You
should
can't see
see
it now?
what we see.
Oh, you can't see the shared
Well, you
screen.
see,
Controls, girl. We
we
can't
see
see the
what we see
controls.
exactly what you see on
Right,
the screen card.
right, which is the Fox 13. Right?
Yeah, so you gotta scroll. You gotta
Cool,
scroll down to the video.
cool. Okay, I just want to make sure. At least we got it. Okay,
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, there you go.
okay. Let me
Now,
mute.
now, when
Get
you
it.
hit the play, after you hit play, make sure you hit that box to make it expand.
When I hit play. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
after you hit play, you know how you make the screen bigger with the little square box in the corner.
Uh,
Yeah, but make sure you
we all gonna lie. Okay, hold on. Let me mute myself.
yeah mute yourself. Yeah.
At Website Windows, we have been working with Tampa Bay families for over 15 years to protect their homes. We know how important protecting.
A former Dunkin' Donuts manager whose single punch killed a customer has just made a deal with the state. Corey Pujols pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of felony battery instead of manslaughter. In exchange, the judge sentenced him to 2 years house arrest, followed by 3 years probation. Pujols was working as manager at a Dunkin' Donuts in Tampa last year when he punched a belligerent customer for using a racial slur. The customer died from the blow. The state attorney's office says this punishment holds Pujols accountable while also taking into account the circumstances.
Okay, so it doesn't say a whole lot about the situation, but it does say that the young man
Parental rights and education bill is now on its way to the governor's desk.
There we go, dog. I'm still learning.
Oh
Please
yeah,
forgive
you gotta make sure you close that window when you're done.
All them damn ads and pop-ups, girl.
Yep.
man when I tell you. But I'm proud of myself because I learned that much. But anyways, so I want to get you guys' opinions. What do you think about it? Do you think that this was equal justice? Do you think it was balanced justice? Do you think it was about time, so to speak, for the African American community? Because for so like some people are saying, okay, for so long, people have been treating us any kind of way and talking to us any kind of way, and we just have to take it. And they come into the establishment and disrespect us and this, that, and the third. But how are they able to just go get away with calling us the N word and belittling us? And when we ask them to leave, they stand up and square their shoulders and pretty much tell us what they're not gonna do, and they just get away with doing nothing. And then we see people like George Zimmerman shoot down uh, um, Trayvon and Martin and get away with it. And he walking around, shooting them for being black, basically, and not, and nothing be done about it. There's no justice about it. So it's about time that for what some would say, for us, the punishment fits the crime. He shouldn't have been able to come in there and call this young man out of his name and be disrespectful to him. And he didn't intentionally hit him to kill him. He died as a result of falling back and hitting his head. But still, does the punishment meet the crime, or is it about time? What do you say? What you guys say?
Girl, let me tell you this. It's injustice all day. I'm gonna tell you why it's injustice, okay? For one, why is it that okay, I can understand certain things, but okay, but you got me on house arrest for 2 years, the first 2 years. And then the next 3 years, basically, I gotta piss in a cup whenever you tell me to do it, and the whole nine. And on top of that, I can't leave my house for the first 2 years unless it's authorized by y'all. So whether it's going to work, and it better not be a job where I got to deal with the public, and I'm most likely going to have to take some action. I got to go through all this process. So basically, by the time that I'm in my early 30s, I have to basically deal with this system based off of my reaction to a racist, older gentleman. Now it's funny how, I mean, you know, do I have sympathy? Yeah, but I don't, because the old man, you got to imagine how many times did that older gentleman get away with that throughout his life before he finally met his match. On the fact that when someone asks you to not do something and they did it kindly, and then you just take it as all, well, fuck you, I'll rub it in. All right, then, nigga. Okay, that said it all. And then, but for him to get punished, okay, this is all about finances and money with them at the end of the day. Cause what is it? What is it that you're getting out of the fact that there's a 77-year-old man that died, quote unquote, from supposedly his injuries? Now, did the young man, was he wrong? Uh, yeah, he was wrong if the old man didn't put his hands on him or approach him in a threatening manner. That's what made him wrong. But other than that, everything else, hey man, all is fair in love and war. And I mean, shit, you do not to jump off subject, but even look at with the shit that's going on, where they uh these folks are here setting up their own fake kidnapping shit and getting bonds and police is getting away with molesting and raping 14-year-olds for 20 months straight, and then they get off. And this is down in Georgia or Florida. Yeah, this is down in Georgia, I think. Let the plea man get off with a plea deal with time. He don't even got to register, be no sex offender, no jail time, no nothing, none of that. It's a whole lot of stuff going on. A lot of folks don't understand. So yeah, so I call it injustice for the fact that they letting sheriffs get off with raping and molesting little girls and people that they trust them, and all kind of crazy shit going on with letting these cops get away. Police, frisking a woman in front of her boyfriend intentionally. Lieutenant had to stop the shit, and they paid the woman 50 grand because they caught him literally directly on. Literally, he sat there, looked at that man, looked at that woman's man, literally looked at him in his face and grabbed his woman by the crotch and everything from the bag. Yeah, searching it. It's all kind of crazy shit been going on. So yeah, for me, that's just my outlook on it. So no, I mean, I think that is injustice that the young man had to deal with the system of it. So now he got to take the next 5 years of his life, and he got to walk a straight and narrow path. I mean, that's just period. That means that he can't do nothing that he don't want to do. No, he can't do nothing that he would desire to really do, whether it's good or bad, without them knowing everything about what it is that he got to do.
So you basically think he shouldn't have to do any time at all?
Now, for what? Look how long they've been lynching us. Look at the cleared European man that was a retired, or I think he was either off duty or he was retired former, that shot the brother, killed the brother. That suppose the brother must have been having an episode or whatever, but killed the brother in the middle of traffic. He ain't getting no jail time. They didn't even arrest him. He got to go home. Brother got to go home in a bag.
Right. So that's what I was asking earlier. So do you think it's like some people are feeling like it's about time?
Well, yeah, there are people, and there is people in society that even including their own, like it's about time that justice, because when it comes to brutality, it knows no color. When it comes to disrespect knows no color line. Disrespect is disrespect. It just makes it worse when it comes from someone totally opposite of a different nationality.
Well, and then the fact that he did ask the man a few times to leave.
And this is a young man that's 5 decades younger. He's 5 decades. He's over 50 years younger than you.
Right.
And he respectfully asked you.
Mm-hmm.
Most likely, it was like, "Sir, can you please not say nothing like that? Fuck you, nigga. You know what? Fuck it. I've been taking shit from all these goddamn white folks, these dumbass niggas, bougie ass niggas come through this goddamn funky ass Dunkin' Donuts. Goddamn everybody mad, pissed off at me because they shit ain't getting worked out right. Mad at me because the damn latte ain't hot enough in this machine. Ain't my motherfucking damn fault. And then this son bitch come up here, get talking crazy, talking about nigga. Yeah, okay. That was it. That was the camel that broke the straw. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. So he had a moment. They always have moments. Call the police on us. We end up getting killed damn near. So me personally, I can't. I ain't saying I can't, but I don't see is justice. Who has justice? I don't look at it as no accolade. I mean, it's sad that the man lost his life. Nobody should have to lose their life. Honestly, I believe everybody that's existing, that's worth it and earn it. I believe everybody should be able to experience at least to live 100 plus. At least. That's just me. Right. That would be awesome. because then everybody can really say, you know what, I really, really lived and did everything I wanted to do.
So
But
then, what do you think? Because as far as him having to do time, what do you think is would I'm sorry. What do you think would have been justice in this situation, bro? You there?
yeah, I'm here.
I said, what do you think would have been justice in this situation?
What I think would be justice in this situation is that the fact that just like they be doing and slapping on the wrist, he should got a slap on the wrist. 150 hours community service.
So he got 200.
Yeah,
He got 200 hours community service, 2 years house arrest, and I think it was like 3 years probation.
but the sheriff that had been raping the 14-year-old for 20 months straight
Mm-mm-mm.
got off, and this was a black judge, mind you, that reversed and just totally dropped the doggone case. So he did see, yeah, this shit is matter of fact, my boy Richie, Rashad, Dr. Richie. You had to check, on indisputable. He broke that. I just looked and muted it and cut on my closed caption. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, yeah, I mean, he played, and it's like for real. Throughout the day, I seen it twice back to back. I'm like, this is some bullshit. Like they literally, this is out of Georgia. They got this woman, their district attorney down there is considered the most on the watch the judicial watchdog committees. She is considered the most corrupt, worst district attorney in the country. Period.
Carmel Diva is speaking to everybody. Hey, sweetie, I'm glad you came.
And so yeah, that's that. I mean, that's just. I mean, so yeah. I mean, yeah, it is justice. I can say justice was served in a certain level of teaching people that you just can't just think that you're gonna just be this. This ain't no never. I'll say Ku Klux Klan is here to stay. Shit, fuck out of here. Everybody, everything. You all right until you don't do something that they don't like. Then it's a nigger. Say what you're gonna say from the jump. Well, that's the consequences and repercussions of your actions. Hell, he got a chance to make it past 75. Some of us don't even get a chance to even make it half that fucking age. And he had 77 years of being on the earth. Most likely was calling niggas for at least about 68 plus of it.
He looked mean.
Yeah.
That picture. He looked evil.
Yeah, I mean, a little nigger. Man, my mom, my daddy always told me them niggers ain't no good. Shit skins. That's what they call it. All kind of derogatory shit. Shit skins.
You don't get me blacked off here, people saying that N word.
Well, that's what they say. Hey, I ain't the one made it. From what I understand, that's an ignorant individual, a person of ignorance. They used to say it to the Quakers. They used to say it to the Puritans. Oh, you're acting niggerly. That's
Wow.
that's that's the appropriate English way of saying it. Now, if they want to get the blocking and all that, then they on some monkey shit. Maybe they need to go over there. Maybe they need to take their ass over there and hang out with Putin because he's doing a whole bunch.
His people over here trolling. I'm just
But no, yeah, I believe that. Yeah, I honestly believe that's to me. I mean, I don't look at it like I said. I'm not gonna celebrate it as like an accomplishment. But I mean, hey, still though, and a young man plays his cards right, which I'm sure he will, from wise advice, if you want to keep his ass. But I mean, that's a felony. So see, he's still not winning. Even if he do play his cards right, and keep a clean nose, handle his business. Whatever you got to do with boom, boom, boom to make it, to make it happen. Hopefully he don't have no little ones or whatever, because if he do, it's gonna really be tough, especially if you got to provide for him. Because how the fuck you gonna do that and you on federal probation? So that means you're gonna be getting it. So if you was smoking and drinking, you gonna be sober for about 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, but do you? I mean, what do you think? I mean, I guess what I'm trying to see is like for those people who say he basically got away with murder.
Nah, he didn't get away with murder. I don't believe he got away with murder. I don't even consider it being murder. I consider it being a dispute that turned deadly.
Well, sis, you awfully quiet. What you got to say?
I'll just wait for him to finish.
Oh, I'm good, sis. I just been talking shit.
I didn't want to interrupt, but I hmm. Now remember that video that we talked about a few weeks ago, where the guy was at the Applebee's and the white man called the black dude the N word, and the black dude slapped him about 20,
No,
11 times, right? And he
17.
and he slapped him down. The man fell down to the ground. Well, my thing is, just because somebody curse you out don't mean you gotta hit them. Just because somebody call you the F word, the N word, the B word, don't mean you got the right to hit them. And that's what is coming down to this right here. Now, we can compare what he did to everything a white man did, everything a police ever did to us, but it still don't make it right to just hit somebody because they call you a name. Um, Now, as far as justice, I think maybe in some people's eyes, the white man got what was coming to him because of his past, including um he's been in and out of prison, his abusive behavior, criminal history, and also he was a registered offender. He was a registered offender. I don't know if it was children. I don't know if it was I don't know. But so maybe this was his karma as far as him actually getting beat up and dying, because he probably been getting away with doing stuff for a very long time. And somebody was like, not today. You gonna learn today. But still yet, I'm glad the guy didn't get more time. I'm glad he didn't get a murder charge. I don't think he got away with anything because he's still getting punished. And I also look at it like this. There's a lot of people out there who, just like that white man, he probably been getting away with a lot of stuff. Who knows if this black boy been, I mean, it says he don't have a criminal record. That don't mean he's never done anything wrong. Like, dependent, like, I mean, how many people we know who has gotten a fight with somebody because they said something wrong to them? So who knows, what his past is, as far as you say something to me, I'm gonna mess you up. You know what I mean? Like, I've even been on that side where somebody called me a B and I'm just swinging. You know what I mean? And was I right? No. So I don't know. I think this is like even the white dude who got slapped down at the Applebee's. Like, some people might look at it like, that's what the white man get. We still want our 40 acres and a mule. This is a start. You know what I'm saying? But it's still wrong. We just can't hit people because they say something to us we don't like. Now, if it was me, I probably would have hit him too. If some white lady came up to me and started calling me the N word all in my face and she wouldn't stop, I probably hit her too. But is it right? No, it's not. So I mean, we just can't just go around hitting on people because they say something we don't like. But I'm not going to say that I wouldn't do it because I probably would. But is it right? No. But in the moment, you just like, all right, you asking for it. So I don't know. That's just how I feel about it. I think. I mean, I think he had. I think he was heated. He was angry, and the white guy was probably trying to intimidate him, but still, yet the white man never put his hands on him. You know what I mean? And then on top of that, the white man is elderly, and even though the elderly man said something to him, that he still hit. He was mess. He hit the elderly, like he beat up the elderly. Like you gotta look at it that way too. But again, some people like, oh, you call me the N word, it's on. I can do what I want to do with you, but that's just not, you know,
Logical.
is not. We can't just go around hitting people all the time, just because we want to hit them because we mad, and then say, well, they called me a name. No, that's not. It is not in his situation. It's probably looked at as not fair, and then say, well, they called me a name. No, that's not. Who got the back? It is not in his
Window.
situation. It's probably looked at as not fair.
You gotta close your window out from the one
Yeah,
your
you
YouTube
got another
window out.
window.
Not the StreamYard window. Close your YouTube window out.
Yeah,
Because we
you
got
can
an
say
echo.
Carmel Diva the link
The
to the
lady-
story.
Yeah, I sent her but
Oh,
she,
okay.
she probably didn't get it yet, but
Yeah, but
that's what I
that's
was
just
about
my
to say.
opinion. That's my opinion might not be popular, but you know,
Well, no, I mean that's a valid point. A very valid point. She closed herself out.
she'll probably
No,
she probably
yeah,
can't figure out which window was uh
the
open.
YouTube window. Yeah, don't close out the StreamYard window. Close out the YouTube window. So, for Karma Diva, I'm going to go and read this the version of the story, the printed version. Um, Here we go. Vonell Cook was angry about his service at Dunkin' Donuts in Tampa last May. So the 77-year-old marched into the store, berated the manager, and called him the N word, according to police. The manager, Corey Pujols, 27, is black, and he told Cook not to say it again, but Cook did anyway. So Pujols swung a right hook, hit Cook in the jaw, and knocked the septuagenarian unconscious, causing him to fall and hit his head on the floor, according to an arrest affidavit. 3 days later, Cook was dead, according to records obtained by WTVT. Pujols was originally charged with aggravated manslaughter, a crime that carries a maximum of 30 years in prison. But on Monday, a judge sentenced Pujols to 2 years of house arrest, followed by 3 years of probation, as well as 200 hours of community service, after Pujols pled guilty to a lesser charge of felony battery. So he still has a felony on his record, but it's not murder. Attorneys for listed for Pujols did not immediately respond to a request for comment from the Washington Post late Tuesday, nor did the Hillsborough County State Attorney's Office. Grayson Cam, a spokesman for the office, told WTT that outcome holds the defendant accountable while taking into the account the totality of the circumstances. The aggressive approach and despicable racial slur used by the victim, along with the defendant's age, lack of criminal record, and lack of intent to cause the victim's death. Around 1:30 p.m. on May 4th, Cook was going through the drive-through at a donut shop when he became angry with the service Cook was a regular there, and despite employees asking him to leave, Cook parked and started arguing with Pujols inside the store. When they called Pujols, that's when he called Pujols the N word, according to the arrest affidavit. And Pujols punched the man unconscious, causing him to fall and hit his head and bled on the floor. Cook was hospitalized in the intensive care unit of Tampa General Hospital and died there days later. An autopsy found that the fall resulted in a skull fracture and brain contusions. The death was ruled a homicide, and Pujol was arrested on manslaughter charges. But we know that was overturned. So, with that, hey, how you doing, sweetheart? With that um, in mind, with them saying that he didn't have any prior arrest or any other record or anything like that. Um, is that still equal justice from some, and then for some other people, does this give them a way to say, okay, well, look, we can protest this because we don't feel like, the punishment fit the crime. Hello, anybody there?
Yeah, yeah.
What
Yeah, I'm
comment?
here. You was talking.
That's the question.
I thought you was just making a statement.
No, I said, do you feel like, for just say they might say that the punishment doesn't fit the crime, so let's protest. Do you feel like that they have a right to do so, or do
I
you
think
feel
he
like,
should have been punished. I don't know if it fits the crime, but I think because again, you can't just go around hitting people, even if they do call you the N word. If that's the case, you know, you know how it goes. It's
right,
like if a gay person gets called the F word all the time, and they get away with just hitting people and knocking them out, and then they dying. I mean, should they get off? Everybody just get off because they don't like what somebody said. I mean, I feel like he should have got some type of punishment. Yeah, but again, like I said, if I was in his shoes, I probably would have hit him too. But I probably would have been punished too. You just can't go around hitting people for calling you a name. I mean, we learned that as kids.
right.
Now,
My
if the white man would have pushed them or shoved them or brushed up against them or swung at them or spit on them or you know what I'm saying, then I
right.
would say, yeah, he should have just knocked his ass out. But the white man was just being belligerent.
I want to say hello to View and hello to Rosetta. Rosetta, click on the link that's below you or copy and paste it in when you do, close out the window that you're on now. So like this, when you click and paste it, it's going to take you to or if you can click on the link, it'll take you to backstage. But you have to close out the YouTube um, window because that's what makes the echo, like you hear yourself twice. So just copy the link right below where your comment is, and then yeah, put it in the bar and you know follow it that way so you can come on up. Anyone that's welcome, I mean, that wants to come up and view, if you want to come up, just click on the link and come on up. But I'm grateful for everybody that came in, and thank you, Hood Table, for the like and subscribe and support. I really appreciate that. So you say that the punishment does not fit the crime. She says that the punishment does not. She doesn't think that the punishment fits the crime. And I mean, I agree with you wholeheartedly. Like, you just can't, every time you get angry at somebody for doing something, You know, you can't just go around just because they say something or call you a name that you don't like. You can't just get angry and go, okay, well, I don't like what you said, I'm gonna knock you out, that kind of thing like that. Even though sometimes people can push you to that point. People can really be belligerent. And I mean, it's, especially like, oh, it's just a way that certain
I
people
mean,
can say.
yeah. I mean, I didn't been in many fights growing up, and I remember one fight I got into. It was a girl who kept calling me the B word, and I kept telling her, "Don't say that again. Don't say that again." Next time, before she get the B out, her blood was all over the walls. I beat her face in.
That's not
Like
fair at
this is
all.
like on everything, on everything. That was at the bro, where the Pleasant View East high riser on the
Yeah,
other
I
side
know what
of
you're talking about.
yeah, not the ones on the other side of the gym.
Yeah, I didn't hang up in the views like that, but I know what
Yeah,
you're
well,
talking about
actually,
though.
no, I'm sorry. It was Pleasant View West. It was on the side of the gym, Pleasant View West.
Yeah, that's
And
on.
I
Yeah,
commenced to whooping that girl's butt. And I mean, I used to fight all the time growing up. And people, most time I fought, it was because somebody was messing with me. And they said something to me I didn't like. But was it right? No, it wasn't right. If I would have gotten trouble or went to jail, it would have been my fault. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you just can't go around just knocking people out just because they don't say they. But that's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I think he got lucky actually for what they gave him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with that because it could have went way, especially in Florida, in a southern state, and in a state where that carries the death penalty.
Especially in Florida.
And it's known to be a lot of situations have been racially driven. Hold on, I'm trying to my poor little screen. Hey sis, how you doing, sugar?
Hey,
Hey mom.
I'm
Okay,
okay.
y'all want to add something to the discussion? I appreciate you guys jumping on the board.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, the punishment fitting the
Well, hey,
crime.
actually, Rosetta was on. No, no, not being disrespectful, but Rosetta was here first, so I don't know if she wanted to say something. Just since she was up here first.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because I've been online. I've been actually listening to all the opinions, but I don't know where I was. I thought I was online, but I didn't see myself. A good evening, everyone.
Well,
Well,
you here now, baby.
one of the things that I listened to the gentleman, what he said, because people get very angry, and I agree that um, people can say things and uh, out of whatever reason, whether it's out of anger or disrespect, and people will do that. However, I have to agree with the other listener that's online. We cannot. I mean, we cannot because somebody says something that you don't like, that you disagree with, that's disrespectful. Because there are all kind of names that people don't like. You've got people who don't want to be called fat. You got people who don't want to be called. They only want to be called, what is it, LBGQT, whatever, either a lesbian or gay or
Oh,
transgender, but they don't want to be called the F word. You got, and so what I like to interject in this part, it would be fair if he would have knocked out, and this is how I believe, because I'm thinking that I'm taking it a little more personal. Had it been my father, my brother, my cousin, it would be a rally going on right now because of the time that he got. Also, would he have done the same thing if somebody else would have called him that? Yeah, bro. Somebody, one of his peers, or because we do use the word among each other. We use that language. It's acceptable. But because somebody is of another race, and that's been a big conversation for a long time. You guys use the word, you say the word, but if we say it, you want to shoot us, stab us, or kill us. So the fact that he hit that person and they died 3 days or whatever it was later, um, when I read the story or read up on him, I did see where they said he was a sex offender, a child molester. I don't know that you did. You read that? I
No,
did.
we didn't.
Okay, so I just felt like and he had been in jail on several occasions. I just think they was tired of him anyway. They probably was glad that somebody knocked him out for being belligerent. But as far as the
Mm.
crime, does the time fit the crime? Of course not. It doesn't. You know, we've gone to jail much more than that for just having some weed or ounce or whatever. So when you start talking about murder, they give us time like it's a whatever, a radio station,
Mm.
107. They try to give us, you're not even going to live that long. So, no, I think it's unfair. I think that that young man should be very happy and pleased that that's all he got. I'm looking for them to, I don't know if they can repeal, like once a judge makes a sentence, does it stick or can they appeal it or fight for something else? I don't know, but I'm looking for something like that to happen. And that's my 2 cents. Yeah, we cannot go around. We can't even teach our kids because there's always somebody bigger and stronger than you. You
Mm.
understand? Everybody don't fight with their hands. He happened to. Some people, if the man hadn't come back with a gun, shot up everybody. So
Well, I
anyway,
think the young man, um, I believe, his history being that there were no priors, being that he was um, verbally assaulted.
yes.
Um, I know that those two factors play into the amount of time that he got, but also because, I mean, yeah, there was no intent, you know, to kill this man. He wanted to shut him up, but he didn't want to kill him. And also, what I think his lawyers may have done, especially in the state of Florida,
Hmm.
stand your ground.
Mm.
Because that man,
But the
although he was pissed off about his order, he could have he could have stayed in his car and drove his unhappy ass on somewhere else. But instead, he came in and escalated a situation that didn't need to be escalated.
That's true. But stand your ground is when your life is being threatened.
Exactly.
Me
And
cussing you out, calling you a B and a H and your mama and your daddy, your cousin, talking about all of your family, still
Did
is
that
not
boy know
standing.
that? When
and
that
No,
also
old
I'm just
the restaurant
but
could have
see,
just called the police.
when that man came in that store yelling and cussing, did that boy know if he had a weapon or not?
yeah, but you have to know
But
that.
that don't yeah,
The
yeah.
stand your ground means your life is being threatened. Somebody is taking a stick, a bat, a tube, or knife, or something, and threatening you. You have
Didn't
the
he have
right
a
to
cane?
stand
They
there.
said.
Yeah,
Didn't
Huh?
they say
just
he had a
cursing you
cane?
out is not like they could have called the police. They're a restaurant. The
Yeah.
manager, anybody could have called the police. I
And
don't understand
he
why he
was
didn't.
the manager, so
Yeah, I don't
yeah,
understand why he didn't call the police. Like he had to have known if he hit that man, he was gonna lose his job and everything at least at the minimum.
right.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I'm not saying that, but that the dead person shouldn't have or should have come in there with that tone, with that attitude. He was wrong. But I'm saying because I work in a restaurant, you come in there where I work. I got your order wrong. You asked for barbecue chicken, and I gave you barbecue rib tips. So okay, I gave them to you, ma'am. Well, that's what I thought you said. Well, I didn't say it, and it goes back and forth. Then I just come out and bring one of them knives or sticks or rolling pin and bust you upside your head, knock you out, had no idea I was going to kill you, cause a brain injury. Now, and say you don't die, you just end up in a nursing home for the rest of your life. But because you cussed me out and I didn't like it, no, it's not right. But I understand. I do understand.
Yeah, I understand too. Like I said, I grew up in the hood fighting. Not all the time, but I had at least 15, 20 fights growing up at least. And not bragging, but I'm just saying, like most of the fights, I never start shit with nobody. It was always somebody starting stuff with me.
Hmm.
And it was like sometimes, it took me to like my 20s, like literally to learn how I mean, I've been in situations in my 20s and 30s where I'm like, God, I just want to tag that, just I mean, just stuff that I know I would have done back in the day. I know I can't do now because I'd be in jail and my kids would be in foster care or some shit.
Yep.
And I can't say, well, because this bitch she called me, this man, like, I mean, you can't do that. And as far as staying your ground is when somebody pull a weapon on you, or break into your house or try to steal your car, or not just cursing you out.
But my
But
thing is
on
this,
the
I
flip
keep
side,
asking, when he walked in there, didn't, or maybe I didn't read it right, didn't they say he had a cane with him? Because
again,
that can be considered a weapon.
Right,
And
but
there
you got to
are
raise it.
things that
oh
they.
girl, you
Oh, I'm
reaching
sure he
now.
probably did. Come on now.
Well,
He was 77. He probably had a cane and a wheelchair in the car, but that don't mean he was gonna hit him with the cane.
That
if
don't
you,
mean okay. You mean to tell me he gonna walk in there all calm and he ain't gonna shake his cane at him?
If somebody shook their cane at you, I snatch that damn cane out their face, out their hand, and I throw it. I wouldn't beat them over the head with it. Not no 80-year-old man. They should have called the cops.
yeah,
That's
None
what
of
we
this
have to
would
do
have
on
happened if
that
he
one.
would have called the cops. None of this would have
yeah,
happened.
yeah, that was the most disrespectful part of the whole situation is that man's age. The fact that you did not have the respect to say,
That's what we
"F
have to
you,
do on.
man." I'm just saying. I'm not saying that's
Yeah,
what.
he could have cussed him out. He
But
could
if
have
he said, "F you, old man,"
anything.
go sit down with your crippled self and walk on to the
Yeah.
back. But as far as and that would be disrespectful. You just in life, if one of the things is that our young people are not respectful of the aging population.
Mhm.
We've gotten away from that. There was a time that you could walk up, approach a
That
younger
is true.
people
Totally
and
agree with
young
you on that
people, and if they was cussing, they would say, "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, ma'am," and they'll,
one. Hmm.
but now they cuss and look at you. Hey, it's keep on cussing.
Right.
Well, I always raise my kids to respect their elderly, just like we used to do. But when the elderly get wrong with them or try to do something wrong with them, and they know for sure, Mama would not like what's going on here. Come to me as quick as you can and let me handle
Yes,
the situation.
that's right.
But
I mean,
I
I'm
know
not
that
gonna put
black
all this.
guy. One second. I know that black guy didn't have no criminal record, but again, that don't mean like I didn't I the stuff I got in trouble for growing up, going to court and all this kind of stuff, probation, house arrest,
That just means he didn't get
all that
caught.
stuff, it had nothing to do with fighting. I got away with fighting over and over and over and over again. So just because he don't have a criminal record don't mean he ain't hauled off and hit somebody before who called him something he didn't like.
Mhm.
And again, you are a manager. Basically, you just showing all your employees. Next time somebody come in here and cuss you out, hit them.
Hit him.
Like you a whole manager. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't get it. But trust me, I understand. The black dude was pissed off. He was mad. They said the man came in there all the time, and was cutting up all the time. He just could have been tired. Like this, the last time this white man gonna come in here talking shit to us. He gonna learn today in my Kevin Hart voice. But I'm just glad that they didn't get him 50 years or something like that,
Or life, or
or
in
like,
or because I mean, in states like that, you just never know. You never know. I've seen people be executed for something, stealing candy, something as simple as that. So, ooh, he got to me on the skin of his teeth, but I don't know.
yeah. And I don't want to take away from the fact that just because I think the black dude should have used more, um, I don't know, I don't even know what to say. But the white man still was wrong. He was dead wrong. No
Yes, he
comments.
was.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, he was
Dead
wrong.
wrong.
He was wrong. I agree with you, Carmen. I understand where you're coming from as well. But you know what and I agree with you saying he was wrong. However, one of the things that we have to, because we know that people we need to just look at how the black men are sent to jail here. There have been people who've gone to jail for the least amount of drugs, opposed to shooting someone or killing someone. There was a shooting here. I don't know if the man got any time here, and I'm talking about in like here. It wasn't actually in Detroit, one of the little close by suburbs, Dearborn, Michigan, and uh, something had happened to the young lady, and she was able to escape from her aggressor. Right, she was running around knocking on doors, "Help me! Help me! Help me!" And when she came up and was knocking very aggressively on this white guy's door,
That
he
was a
shot.
reference. Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
well, this one I'm talking about was in Dearborn. It was probably several of them, but he shot through the door and killed her.
Yeah.
And at one time, they weren't talking about giving him any time at all, because he said, "I thought she was trying to break into my house because she was beating on the door. Help me, help me, help me." I think he did. I'm not really sure, but anyway, I'm just saying that the sad part about it is
I
that
remember that.
you said what now?
Oh, I was just saying, I remember that.
Yeah, lost his life. Well, hey, maybe somebody will learn. Don't use that. But I would like to see somewhere along the lines, at some point, this is what I think, that N word loses its ability to take people from 0 to 10 in no seconds, because we use it
Mm-hmm.
all the time, include myself. I got whippings as a child for using that word. I did not care. I used it anyway. I knew how to spell it. I cursed as a child. So to see us use it like we do, and then get very angry when somebody else use it, and then we put it in records, we put it in songs, we put it in movies, and I know that's a whole nother situation, but that's where I am in my life. Is that word has got to be discontinued by us, or we're going to continue to have this type of fire to it.
Well, you remember they buried it downtown, but they must have went and dug it back up.
Yeah, they did. They wouldn't pull it back up. They should have cremated it
Girl,
so they couldn't get back together. That's what they should have did.
they buried it, and now it came back together. They did a big. I don't know if y'all remember that they did a big ceremony here in Detroit, the NAACP, where they buried the N word,
Oh well.
and it was supposed to be
I
ceremoniously.
saw that.
Yeah, but it never. Yeah, some of those same people probably used it as soon as they left the ceremony.
Right. And see, and my thing with all these so-called black leaders that go around posturing and doing all of this and that, having these uh ceremonies, where how can I explain this? Like, who are they talking to? Who are they trying to pacify? Because I didn't like, just like when they changed our being from being black to African American. I'm
Mm.
like, wait a minute. I didn't get a vote. Did my registration card get lost in the mail? Because nobody asked me whether I wanted to be black or African American or Negro. So who is these people to change it? Just like who are they to take away the N word? I get what everybody is saying. I know that. But we say it amongst ourselves as a term of endearment.
I don't like being
Right,
called.
but what
And,
you're not understanding
and
is
then
everybody keeps
then you
saying
got
it's
these.
a verbal assault, but it wasn't a verbal assault. A verbal assault is when you threaten somebody with harm. So the people who keep saying this is verbal assault, it wasn't verbal assault. And even if
I
you
think
are
they would.
verbally, no, I'm not talking. I'm reading the chat. I'm talking about it's in the chat.
But I
So
mean, I'm just saying that we have to get on one accord. Are we going to keep that word specifically amongst ourselves and then hold everybody else accountable for when they use it? Or are we going to dead the word, period?
We
And
can
we need
hold
to
other people
have,
accountable without hitting them.
but see, we need to have a chat across the board.
But
Because
that's
it
not
can't
gonna
just
stop
be,
white people from cursing us out, though. I mean,
and that's true. It's not going to stop them. But we need to, like I said, we need to come to a consensus. Are we going to hold them accountable for saying it? Or are we going to be like, you know what, that word don't have no power over me. I don't even care.
well, I mean, it's a difference though. I mean, I say the N word all the time. It's just in my vocabulary. I just don't say the ER. But if somebody was to say the ER to me, I would be very, very offended. So I mean, I'm not one to go out there protesting to stop saying the NIGGA word. But I mean, if like most people who are rallying behind this boy is rallying because they like, oh, he was verbally assaulted, but he wasn't verbally assaulted. Verbally assaulted is stuff like, I'm going to kill you. If you don't get out of my way, I'm going to run you over with my car. If you do this or that, I'm gonna do something to your kid. That's a verbal assault. Calling you a bad word is
No,
not a verbal
verbal
assault.
assault is anytime you are being verbally disrespected.
No, it's
It
not.
don't
You
have
need
to
to
be
read it.
that
You
you are
need to
being
read up on
threatened.
that.
It's a
No. You need to
no,
read up on
trust me.
that. You
No.
you need to verbal assault is not calling somebody a bad word. It's
Tanya,
not.
I've been verbally assaulted my entire life. Trust and believe. I
Okay, well,
know
I'm reading
what
by the
verbal
law.
assault
I'm
is.
reading what the law says. And then also it says, if you hit somebody who verbally taunts or assaults you, you can be charged with assault, which is a class A misdemeanor that can carry up to 11 months and 29 days in jail. If
But
serious
that's the
bodily,
definition of
hold on,
it. What
hold
is a
on.
bully now?
Hold on. If serious bodily injury results from a physical attack, you can be charged with aggravated assault, which is a class C felony. So again, you can't hit somebody who verbally taunts you or verbally assaults you. What that man should have done was call the cops, period. Period.
Yeah, I think call the cops and leave it in their hands.
The man could have walked away, and that's just like, okay, I have a concealed weapons license. I can't go up to somebody and just shoot them because they cuss me out and call me the N word. And by law, you if you have some way to get away, walk away, drive away, you have to try that first before you ever think about using your weapon. Otherwise, I'll be in prison for the rest of my life. So we just can't just let that lay like there. Like if your son right now, if somebody calls your son the N word, you gonna tell him you better knock his lights out and whoop him up. Like, no, you're not gonna tell your son to do that. You're gonna say ignore that shit and walk away. Then that's what I would tell my child. If they put your hands on you, then you better monkey stomp them, dog walk them.
And see, not only that, but it works in reverse. So if one of our children would have walked up to a Caucasian person and called them a cracker,
The H word, yeah, the crack, or yeah.
right, or something derogatory, would it have been okay for them to punch the mess out of them?
No, if that man would have hit them, I would have said, "Man, you didn't have to hit my son." But then I tell my son, "Well, that's what your ass get." I mean, just like the white dude, he got what was coming to him. I really think that because of his history, his criminal past, him sexually assaulting somebody, I think it was karma on the white man's side. He got what was coming to him. This man, the black man, it was like a sacrifice that he took to get that man his karma. But does that make it right that the black dude did it? That's just my opinion, though. We just gonna all disagree to disagree at one point.
We don't all agree to. I mean, we don't all disagree. We don't
No.
all
I'm just
disagree,
saying, it's okay with me to agree to disagree.
right? But
Yeah,
I think we all. This is why this panel is so good because everybody has an opinion, and that's what makes us all unique. I I I do think that it was terribly unfortunate. I don't think that
yeah, it
um
was. It was.
yeah, I don't think that the young man should have hit hit the man. You understand? But I don't think that the man was right by calling the young man out of his name either. You know,
But you know
I
what I used to say, Miss Sis-Lo? I used to say stuff all the time. Like if somebody did this to my kid or somebody did this, I'ma do this. I'ma run this before I had a gun. I'ma go down to Saul's pawn shop. I'ma buy me a gun so fast. And I used to tell my mama, don't put money on my books, don't bail me out, don't give me a lawyer. I'm gonna do my time. So there's certain things that we know that we shouldn't do out of retaliation, but we also know we can end up locked up for a long time. Now some of us be
mhm,
like, we just cast the cares out the window. I'm gonna do what I gotta do. So just because I did it doesn't make it right because I'm doing it in defense of somebody or I think what somebody else did was wrong.
mhm.
It's just I don't know. I don't know. I hope a lesson is learned from this man and this young boy, and I hope that when he does get out of jail, I mean I even hope that he gets out early.
He's not
Like
in jail.
I'm saying
That's
that
the
he should
thing. He's not in jail.
right, but what I'm saying is I hope that he learned something from this and
Right.
he could still have a very, very valuable life, a
Mhm,
long life, a prosperous life. And maybe he can teach the next one, reach one, teach one from what he did.
mhm. Yeah,
This I went to jail, I
and
got locked up, could have made a different
that's why
choice.
it's a topic of discussion because he's not in jail because he got house arrest and probation. 2 years house arrest and then 3 years probation.
Yeah,
That's
because them
why
white people want him in jail. I mean,
exactly they want him in jail, and they probably by this time they want to lynch him.
and I
Uh,
hope,
because
like I said,
it's
I hope he.
vindication for Trayvon. They didn't even they let Zimmerman off scot free. He practically skipped on down the yellow brick road out that damn courthouse, knowing what he did to that boy. So
right. But
Mhm.
but
he
but do
one for
we
one.
do we do we do some for some tip for tat?
No, of course we
Because,
can't do the tit for tat. That's why I was
exactly
saying
because
earlier.
because
Cops
we
kill us every day. That still don't mean we can go out there and hit somebody because they call us the N word. I mean,
right.
it's just it is what it is. And I keep throwing myself back in the situation. I probably would have done it too, but I probably would have got in trouble. Like sometimes you just gotta make wiser decisions, or you do the time, you do the crime. I mean, do
Yeah,
the crime, do the time.
yeah.
It's a
But
very very
it's the
unfortunate situation all the way around, and it's one man lost his life and the other man lost his life.
And I want to say this just to clear it up. No, I don't advocate hitting on the elderly. Like you said, he could have, laughed at the man. He could have cussed the man back out. He could have called the police. He could have done any of them things other than put his hands on that man. And
Right.
he is very blessed to be given the very light
right.
sentence that he had. So while
Yeah,
he is
right. The
sitting
A
at
man is
home, he
80
needs to
years
take
old with
advantage
a
of that.
cane. What he gonna do?
But on the flip side, karma is a bitch. It may not get you right away, but oh, she will come and get you.
Oh yeah, and I bet the person that he sexually assaulted, especially if it was a child, I bet they
They probably want to throw him a parade.
hey, ow. They probably excited that the old man got knocked out. Karma.
Right.
Hmm.
Karma is a biatch.
But and then we got to think of this too. I always try to play devil's advocate. Y'all know me. But who was this young man to play judge, jury, and execution?
Right.
But yeah, and he
I mean,
didn't
I
even
know he
kill
didn't
him.
go into it to do that.
Yeah,
That was not his intent.
right.
But and I
And I
know
can
in
imagine he feels
the heat
bad
of the
about
moment,
that.
I know I was gonna say I know he feel bad about that, and I'm sure in the heat of the moment he was not thinking that me hitting this old man is gonna kill him.
Right.
But those are things, consequences we have to think about. I tell my kids when they mad or when they want to do something, okay, that may be your idea, but take it one step further. Take one more thought. Take one more thought past what you want to do. Think about it a little bit longer and then come back and talk to me about
Mhm.
it. And that's what we have to do as adults, and that's our job, our duty to do that to the youth, and not just our own kids, but all kids. You see somebody kid messing up, hey, snatch their little ass up and talk to them, because maybe somebody haven't taught them.
Mhm.
Now there's a chance that little
And
baby
two
girl
wrongs
can
do
start
not
cussing
make
at
it right. Just because one person wronged you does that mean that you do another wrong.
you. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Justify that. You can't. You know,
Mm-hmm.
No,
you
you
can't.
cannot justify that. I remember one of the things, the law is so crazy. That's why I'm happy for the young man that they did not lock him up for the rest of his life.
Hmm.
Okay, because that's
Or
the kind of
sentence him to death.
you said what now?
Or sentence him to death because
Or
poor
sin
this
of death.
way.
Exactly, and so, but there was a an incident here in Detroit on the east side where they broken this somebody broke into this man's house while he was home. He got his gun and he was shooting at him. However, the law said if he had killed him in his house, it didn't matter whether he was running away or whatever.
He would have been
However, the guy
justified.
got out of the house and was running down the street, and he ran down the street and shot him, and they locked him up because he was no longer in imminent debt. I mean, of
Correct.
situation,
Thank-
yeah,
Mhm.
threatening situation. The fact that
mhm.
now, even though, even this is what they said, even though he could have been running away from him, but he was still in his house, he had a right to shoot him. But once he crossed the threshold of that door and was outside, he was no longer a threat to him. So therefore, he was wrong. But I
Yeah.
just thought it was very interesting that theory, and because of that, he was given some time. So I'm just saying that we all kind of at the end of the day we all kind of agree that it was very unfortunate that that gentleman had to lose his life for it. It was too bad he ran his mouth and we used to call it writing checks that your behind can't cash.
Mhm.
Huh.
He wrote a check his butt couldn't cash, and he paid for it with his life. But in the same token, that young man, I know he got to feel some kind of way.
Mhm.
So that's very unfortunate, very very.
All the way around. All the way around. Okay. Well, I appreciate everybody dropping in and sharing in. Anybody have any last words? I want to give respect and thanks to everybody that came through. I know you guys have jobs and things like that, but y'all chose to come hang out with your sis once
I ain't
again.
got no job.
Okay, Smokey. It's Friday. You
But
ain't
you
got
know I
no.
love to hang
Yeah,
out with
Tommy
you.
ain't got no job. Tommy ain't got no job.
Nope. Just call me Tommy.
But
And
I
that
agree with what Rosetta just said. I think it's very unfortunate. I hate what happened to that black guy, but I mean, I can say on this panel right now, at least one other person besides me can probably say that they could have ended up in a similar situation had they reacted the same way, even if it was in a younger
Oh
or
yeah,
younger years.
oh yeah.
A lot of our young black people
mhm.
end up in prison for the rest of their life for doing something because they think, oh, they ain't gonna punk me. They ain't gonna, they ain't from where I'm from. We don't take that, stuff
What
like
Dave
that.
Chappelle say when keeping it real goes wrong.
Yeah, yeah. So I really hate. That's why I said I think that they weren't harsh as they could be.
Oh no.
I just pray that he don't take this and come out of the whole situation more angry or more, with the world or with the police or with the and if he, especially if he got kids, like use this as a lesson to maybe he can be a spokesman for somebody or for children or
I was gonna
teenagers
say,
or
you know what, this brother, if I know he may not see this, he probably won't, but I hope he does. I want him to really, really be thankful to the Lord above because in Florida,
Mm,
he lucky they did not lynch him. In
that's exactly.
Florida, he lucky they didn't throw the book at him. He still,
amen.
even being on house arrest, he's still able to make a living because most
Yes.
people are working from home
Yes.
nowadays.
Yes.
So
So
he can still make a living.
yeah. Hey,
If he
listen,
was a smart and grateful young man,
live his
he
life.
would start a Bible study.
Yes.
Mm,
I just, I want people to realize that bad things happen, good things happen, but we have to, in everything that happens in life, there is a lesson to be learned. Learn the lesson, and the hard part for many of us is not necessarily learning the lesson, but it's taking the correction.
that comes with
He
it.
needs to take the correction.
That's true. That's
Mm.
true. That's true. That's true. I agree with you. I think that Florida could have been very harsh with him. They could have really, and they would have been within their right because the law is on their side as far as you cause somebody's death. Even though the man said inappropriate things he shouldn't have said, he came into your workplace. But even as a manager or as a uh, employee of a business, you're supposed to be able to walk away. You understand? And we have to learn to control our anger. We cannot let our anger get the best of us, because
And
I
we have to
look,
learn to pick and choose our battles.
that's so true. And I struggle with that anger issue, all the time because I just, I just come from that background where you're not going to talk to me any kind of way. and
Hmm.
and I try not to say it because you can talk to me any kind of way you want to. However, you will be talking to my back because I'm not going to stand up there and listen to it. And that's what I have to say because I'm one of those people to say you ain't gonna just talk to me no any kind of way. You ain't gonna just say what you want to say because something gonna happen to you. You know what I'm saying? So I will provoke something. So that that you just can't do that. We got to learn to take some of the language out of our vocabulary so that we don't be one of the people who says things that provoke this kind of behavior. That's my 2 cents.
And that was, I mean, overall, you know, like a few people said, you gotta learn how to fight your battles.
Yeah.
And one thing that we used to, when I used to work in, like the restaurant industry and things like that, the first thing that they say was like, what would you do if somebody was to try to come in and rob you? The first thing they say is you give them what they ask for. Don't try to be a hero.
Right.
So even in situations like this, you can't try to be a hero. You have to do what you were paid to do, and not just because somebody said something to you that was unbecoming, or was an insult to you, does not mean that you try to play a big man and I'm gonna show you what's gonna happen to you for saying this and so. No, that's not your job because in the end, everything in that restaurant
Belongs to
is
somebody else.
it belongs to somebody else and it's insured.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's not your job to protect that place, and
I tell my son,
that's what
I'm
so
sorry.
many people go wrong, and you end up losing your life
Hmm.
and your livelihood trying to be a hero. And
Hmm.
even like you said, Tanya said, all he had to do was call the police. All of that could have been avoided. And that old cantankerous goat could still be living right now. He didn't have to
Maybe.
die because of him being ornery. That's somebody else's problem to deal with. And they could have still both been living. He could have been living his little ornery whole life, doing whatever he usually do, tending to the goats and the sheep or whatever he does. But he didn't have to die. So
Like I was
okay.
saying, I tell my kids, pick your battles. Uh, find out what hill you're willing to die on. But then also, don't let people push you to the point where you about to lose your freedom. Don't do that,
True words. True words.
cause
So
I like
freedom
my freedom,
is it.
and I'm not finna be stuck up in no little ass room with a bunch of stinking ass female. It just ain't gonna happen.
I ain't trying to be nobody's girlfriend because I'm
That
Uh,
too cute.
too,
I am too cute.
girl. Okay.
you
Shoot.
a
I don't
mess,
want
girl.
nobody trying to steal my cornbread.
I want to bite this
Mm-mm. As
cornbread
my
off
auntie say,
my
don't
face.
give nobody your moon pie.
Oh,
Take my virginity.
child.
Girl, that was gone a long time ago, but we ain't
Oh,
going there.
child.
You constitute a virgin. I don't know what you are talking
You said take it from him, girl. You know you gave that
Lord,
away. Quit playing.
Lord Jesus.
Oh, I
See,
forgot we ain't on
you
the
be
head
the one
table.
to take my
Yes, you
cornbread, Miss Sis-Lo. You be the one to snatch my cornbread.
I don't, even, I don't even eat cornbread. Well,
Talking
not
about
that
this mine.
it's right out the oven.
did.
You want butter on them biscuits? Nope.
Oh Jesus, you gonna butter the biscuit when it come out?
Nope. Nope.
Ooh,
Mm-mm.
child.
Bro
Okay,
ain't
we
said
getting a
nothing.
look. We
Bro ain't
getting
said
on.
nothing in a long time.
He
Bro in
probably
there, he
sleep.
sleep.
Chang-a-lang, chang-a-lang.
Right, he probably
Mr.
sleep.
Lemon Pepper Steppers, he sleep.
Oh, he
No, he
lemon pepper
he
stepper
went
at the
to
end of the
work
day.
a long time ago.
Nah, he going by his real YouTube name, Count Amaru today.
Oh, okay.
he probably say I'm just chilling.
Yeah. He
Hey,
said he was
we're keeping.
Kiwi.
We're keeping. I ain't heard her in a long time.
I even hit her up on. Hold on, matter of fact, let me go to my IG now because I didn't hit her up, and I don't know what's going on.
We're gonna put a SOS out for sis.
Like she ain't been. I ain't seen her in none of the chats on YouTube. Yeah, because I haven't seen her in none of the chats on YouTube that me and her usually be in.
Uh-oh, and I
Oh,
think
it
I done
says
got
she
just
was active. She said she in her in her inbox. It says she was active as of yesterday on IG. So I don't know. I guess she okay.
uh I think I done got dragged into the beef sector
Ooh, what happened? What happened?
with the real estate guy.
I was just
Girl,
on his chat earlier. Was you in his chat
last
earlier?
night. Did you
Oh,
see
I
that
wasn't
shit
in there
last
last
What you
night.
night?
talking about, Mister?
Oh, Mr.
Mr.
Real
Real
Estate.
Estate?
No, I
Oh,
was in his chat today, but
I
he
thought you talking about the lead
let me keep
attorney
my
or something.
comments to myself. I'm gonna keep my comments to myself. Go ahead, comment Demon.
No, you need to tell me. But girl, he was
No,
they were so off the chain last night. All I was doing was trying to just flip through channels, and this girl, I stopped. I was watching for about 45 minutes. Then I was like, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be doing something else. Shit. Oh, they was because they was arguing with the argument was, why do um African people who come over here to the US hate us natural born black people so much? Why do they show so much disdain for us? And I don't know what the African dude said first, but man, they started lighting into his ass, and it was hilarious. But they got a valid point, and
well, I need to watch that.
I'm not saying that all African refugees are like that,
But a lot of them
but
do. They look at us
quite a
like we
few.
crazy, like we stink.
Yes, girl, we ain't going there.
But
But
again, not all of them.
So I mean, what did he say?
Oh, by the time I was watching it, girl, they was just bagging on him. They was actually it
Oh,
was
they was
Tariq
bagging
Nasheed.
on Mr. Real Estate, or they was bagging on
No,
the.
they was bagging on the African dude. Actually, it was Tariq Nasheed. He was
Oh,
getting, yeah. Tariq was letting that dude have it.
oh wow. No, I
That
was over
shit
there
was
today, and he about damn near put me to sleep. He was like, "Today we're gonna be talking about."
I think you gotta watch him at
Yeah,
night.
it was just like right before Sis-Lo came on. I got out of his live to watch hers. I'm like, so maybe, but he did say he was gonna have the panel open, so maybe I gotta wait to the panel. But it's just the way he was talking, like he one of those late night DJs on the slow jams. No, for real.
Yeah, they do good music.
Play another slow jam. That's what I'm like. What am I listening to? And I was like dozing off, like real talk.
See, I don't know those any of those people.
Well,
And
he just came into our chat. Me and Karma Diva, and I think you was on there, Sis-Lo and Bro, last weekend. He had commented in our chat, and then the other
That's
day
because
he
I
had
hit went in his chat.
yeah, and then well, I don't know. Did you tell him about the hood table though?
Yeah,
Okay, okay, that's why. 'Cause I'm like, why would he? Okay, so then he commented on one of like he's been commenting on some of my videos. So I subscribed to his channel and I went over there today because I saw he was live. But he was just like, "Thanks everybody for coming
he
in."
might have been
I
sleepy because
was
they.
I was like, "No, go watch this video from an hour. He might still be live, but." Go what he was talking so slow and I was like, I can't do this. Nope, gotta go. Gotta go.
so silly, girl.
No, it was,
You know, I love Jay Wilson and sometimes Jay Wilson talks slow, but no, this man was slow.
yeah, he do kind of talk slow and
Yeah.
whisper.
And yeah, I see. You know what I'm talking about? He was whispery and talking slow, like he was one of those late night DJs trying to help somebody get somebody draws. Like, what is going on here?
I
But
don't
I'll
know.
give him another chance. I'll go back and watch the rest of the video.
I like I said last night when I caught it, it was funny. But I mean, maybe I have to go back and look through a couple of other ones.
Maybe
But
because we had a panel. Because I don't know if I can listen to him on a show by itself for
I
a
don't know,
long
that
time.
might be. But he had it was a Tariq and then it was another dude too. But then the one time, like I said, when I first seen him when I first stopped, he was talking about the lead attorney and was talking
Yeah.
about how,
hmm
basically he was a fraud and I was like, oh, okay. And
hmm
talking about how he started out, his channel started out, he was on there giving actual legal advice, um, because he's a family law uh attorney, and so he was talking about child support and divorce, and he couldn't never get his numbers up, and then he got part of the manosphere, and we got what's the name, Kevin Samuels and that O'Shea Duke Jackson and somebody else. They all, oh, you got our blessings, and so they start pumping him up, and now he's on there doing celebrity gossip and shit. He was like he doing shit that women do. He was like, what happened to the show you used to do? And then Tasha, they he had a clip of Tasha talking about him, but what she said was true. She said, how come you never see him say anything about his real name? He never posts his real name. He's never said his real name. She said, you know why? Because if you Googled him and you were actually trying to get his services, what you gonna pull up first is the fact that he do celebrity gossip. Is that who you want to represent you?
Well, in his defense, a lot of YouTubers don't use their real name because
People
of people always doxing.
got to represent her. Like,
A lot of people on YouTube don't use their real names or their real profile pic because there's so much
Well,
doxing
Mr.
on
Real
YouTube.
Estate found his real name and put it out there.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. A lot of people don't show their real name or their real
Yeah.
picture. And if you in the B sector long enough, you understand exactly why.
Well, hell, you see, I don't use my real name. I mean, although
Right.
you
And
know,
that's why I might slip sometime, but I try
no
my best
problem.
to call you by your profile name because girl,
But
like
that's not right for him to take it upon himself to find that man's name and put it out there. That's
that's
the kind of
doxing.
stuff I
That's
don't
doxing.
like.
And
I
that is
can't
doxing.
stand that. I mean, who are you?
But
You
Sis-Lo, we
don't
see
want
it
nobody to
all
know
the
his name.
time.
That's his business.
We see it all the time in the B sector.
I know, but
You go
I'm
find
just
out who your kids are, what school they go to, where your grandmama work, what year
Mm,
she had her first grandchild 50 years ago. I mean, they will dig deep if they don't like you. So
mm.
that's why I mean everybody knows my name because I'll be promoting my cakes, I'll be promoting this, promoting that. So I don't care. But if somebody docks me, I always said I don't care. Like what you gonna find out? I mean, my criminal record, it was so long ago, you can't even find that anymore. So other than that, it's like, yeah, I got some good credit. I'm about to buy me a house. Matter of fact, anybody want to help me move next weekend? Um,
Mm.
I
You
got
wait
two
on
kids that both went to college. One still in college. You ain't gonna find out shit about me. Now, I'm just saying, but a lot of people when they get doxxed, a lot of they past information that might be really bad comes out. So that's why a lot of people don't use their real name on YouTube. YouTube is a you gotta have some tough skin to be a YouTuber, like really.
it's too much. It's too much. But I'm getting
Yeah.
that really
But
get
Karma
it.
Diva, yeah, where your son gonna be at next weekend, Karma Diva?
I don't know. Have to ask
I'm
him.
recruiting. I'm recruiting.
So much you
I
recruiting.
was there. I
I
couldn't move
asked
the boxes, but I could organize them.
Girl, I've been throwing stuff away. And you know what
like,
I hate, Karma Diva? I don't know how
huh?
it is in the rest of y'all cities or where y'all from, but we got one trash can and we can only fill up one trash can, the city trash can. And so what do you do when you have a whole bunch of stuff to throw away?
Go to somebody's apartment
And just ooh, don't say that on
and
I
use
didn't
their
hear that.
dumpster.
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. So what you're saying is I should just leave it outside on the curb somewhere. Okay.
Right? Or put it
Okay.
in your neighbors.
Oh, oh, Karma Diva. Okay.
But see, my neighbor, we do that anyway because my son was the one that would always take his trash to the curb anyway. And now, since he's in a home for hopefully just for a short while, and he'll be back soon. But he's in a home, so we just use his,
Well, you
take it
know
to the
what?
curb, and then bring it back.
I went across the street today and knocked on the Mexican's door. I said, I'm moving next week. I need some work done on my house. You got a card? The man ran to the back of his house and grabbed his construction company card. I was like, thank you. Thank
He
you.
should have
I
been
will
like,
call
"Look,
you.
because I'm Mexican, you think I work on houses?"
No, because you know they work. I told you before they work on like they got like 6 business trucks in front of their yard and a whole what's that thing? That little thing that you pick up stuff with, that little
A
the
backhoe?
no,
Well,
not
not a
the
backhoe,
backhoe,
but
but
like a pallet driver or something.
it picks up bricks, pick up dirt. It's small, you ride around in it, you know what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they got one of those and they drive. I know they, and I watched them remodel their whole house. Like when they bought it, they remodeled it in 30 days or less. The whole house from the basement up, and the garage, and a brand new roof. So they did it all themselves. So that's how I first knew, like these jokers over here. Then I found out later, just through conversation, that they own their own construction and contract company.
All
So yeah, I told them whenever I do move and buy me a house, I want y'all business card. So I made sure to go get it today because I already got some work I want them to do on the outside in my yard and stuff. Like I want
look,
like
had
what do
him
you call
quote,
them things? What
had
do you
him
call
quote
them
your
things?
price first.
Oh, I am. Oh, no, he girl, we this the one that always shovels my driveway when it snows and brings me
Mm.
big bags of salt and rock salt, just me dumping
Was
it on
them
my
the ones
porch.
that was partying with us that night?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
They
okay.
cool. They cool as heck.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, but I need me a one of those walls. You know, with the bricks around your
The
house.
retaining wall.
Retaining wall, yeah, because the retaining wall that I have on my house, it's all run down. The house is like totally remodeled, but the retaining wall, I don't like the retaining wall, so that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna build me a new retaining wall.
Mhm.
So yeah, but that's all,
Mm.
folks.
I need you to call me tomorrow. I got two things I need to ask of you.
Who me?
Yes, you.
All right, you better remind me because you know I get super busy, and what I've been doing in between calls, I've been packing like literally and cleaning and throwing stuff away in between calls. So
Or you can
I'm
do,
just
or I can tell you
remind me.
now. The one thing is I need your help to get my panel together so we can do my start doing my youth. I mean my little panel I was talking about.
Okay.
And then I also need remember I talked to you about my carrot cake for my birthday since my mama not here now,
Oh, when's your birthday?
the 6th
6th of what?
April.
Oh, okay. I should be able to do that in my brand new kitchen.
I'm gonna
You
end the
hear me?
stream, you guys. Hold
Oh yeah,
on.
we just talking like ain't nobody else here.
Yes.
Right.
Oh,
Thank you guys for tuning in. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and support the channel. I thank my co-host tonight, Karma Diva, The Hood Table, Amaru, and my very special guest, my mama, y'all, Miss Rosetta Cooper. Thank you
Yeah.
all for tuning in and chilling out with your girl Sis-Lo.
yes.
And we never say goodbye. We always say see you later or later for now because goodbye is way too permanent. I love you on purpose. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Love you guys too. Call me tomorrow,
Mm-mm, let me
Comedy.
know.